electrolytic reduction. You can understand it because notes already have given. Electrolytic reduction of alumina, that means Al2O3, by Herold's process. Okay. Today's continuation is from this topic onwards. Aluminium oxide will take and we do electrolysis. And as I told, why we need to do electrolysis only? Because aluminium oxide is a highly stable oxide. Since aluminium has a strong affinity for oxygen, so we can separate aluminium and oxygen only by means of passing current, that is electrolysis. Way only we can separate. Herold's process. I'll come to the process later on. First you see the electrolysis and what happens. Aluminium electrolysis we always do in the molten state of the substance or in the aqueous state. Aqueous means mixed with water. So this one is in the molten state. Molten aluminium oxide will be passing current through it. It will give aluminium and ions and oxygen ion. It will give oxide ion. That is aluminium valency 3, we write 3. Oxygen valency -2, we write -2 on top. 2 aluminium are there, we write 2 at the back. 3 oxygen are there, we write 3 at the back. So when we pass in molten aluminium oxide, these are the ions present. Aluminium ion and oxide ions will be present. Now we write on the reaction at cathode. Add cathode and add anode. Reactions taking place at the anode. Let us see. Cathode is negatively charged plate. It will attract the positive ion here. That is here we write Al+3. Here we will be writing 2 is there, so we can write 2 at the back. We will count this way. 2 3s are 6. Plus 6 we will write plus 6e. 6 electron. It will give 6 electron and change into neutral aluminium metal. Aluminium metal will be open at the cathode. And anode is positively charged plates. It will attract the negative one out here. So negative will come at anode. This negative will come over here. We write 3O with the -2. 3 into -6 is -6. Here we write -6e. It will be changing into 3O. It is not 30, rather 3O. And that 3O plus 3O combines together will give 3O2. Oxygen gas is formed. This reaction is the important one, cathode reaction, because cathode reaction is serving our purpose, solving our, is giving us a solution, because we wanted to get aluminium metal, we get aluminium metal at the cathode. And at the anode, the product is oxygen. So usually we ask you write down the reaction taking place at the cathode. The cathode reaction we write like this. And we are doing the electrolysis of molten or fused. Fused means molten only. Molten or fused alumina. The word molten or fused means in the melted state. In a liquid form we are doing the electrolysis, that means. Okay. The process of electrolysis looks quite simple here, quite easy. But in practice, the process is not that easy. Because to keep alumina in the molten state or in the liquid form, we have to supply heat and we have to maintain temperature. The melting point of pure alumina is 2000 degrees Celsius. So, if we have to maintain a temperature of 2000 degrees Celsius, we have to supply large quantity of fuel. That means the process becomes expensive. It will be cost effective, means it will be quite expensive. It will increase the cost of extraction or cost of manufacture. And another difficulty with that high temperature is that the conductivity of the solution will be very low. That means it will offer very high resistance. And due to high resistance, the value of current will become very small. That means the quantity of aluminium formed at the cathode will be very less. Very less amount of aluminium metal will get. The process becomes expensive and inconvenient, rather we can say. And we are consuming large amount of current and getting very less quantity of aluminium. Hello, can you see? Hello. Okay, so the problem of high cost and very low amount of aluminium due to very poor conductivity was solved by the method suggested by Hall-Héroult. That is called Hall-Héroult process. They brought a revolution in aluminium industry. Hall and Héroult were two brothers, and they brought a revolution in the industry of aluminium metal. What did they suggest, and how, according to their method, how was the electrolysis conducted? These two brothers said or suggested not to do the electrolysis of aluminium oxide alone. Do it in the form of mixture. You have to add something else with it and then do the electrolysis. They said that you have to add cryolite. Cryolite is another mode of aluminium, that is Na3Al6, and plus fluorspar. Fluorspar, and the formula of fluorspar is calcium fluoride. You have to take the electrolyte in the form of mixture. Don't take it alone and do. There will be a problem otherwise. You have to add cryolite and fluorspar with the alumina and then do the electrolysis. Can you hear? To do the electrolysis of alumina in the form of mixture, you have to add two extra things with it. What are the two extra things added to alumina? Cryolite and fluorspar. And then do the electrolysis. This will solve the problem. How it solves the problem? How does the addition of cryolite and fluorspar help in the electrolytic reduction? How does it help? We say like this. Addition of cryolite lowers the melting point from 2000 degrees Celsius to 950 degrees Celsius. The reason is when we add impurities, the melting point decreases. So the melting point of the mixture now becomes 950 degrees Celsius. Just imagine, it is almost half the temperature you are maintaining. We previously 2000 degrees Celsius you were maintaining, now only half. And addition of cryolite and fluorspar increases the conductivity of the mixture. Conductivity means the process becomes very rapid, fast. Its resistance becomes very less. We get large quantity of aluminium in no time with a small current. So these two brothers' method, that was Hall-Héroult's method, made the metal aluminium very cheap comparatively. And it is very affordable. It is slightly more expensive than iron nowadays. Iron costs nearly 200 rupees per kg and this will cost 300 rupees per kg. But when the method was not suggested and we were doing it alone, so the cost of aluminium was almost equal to the cost of gold. Just imagine. So that's why we do the electrolytic reduction of alumina by Hall-Héroult's process or by Hall-Héroult's method. We can only say Hall's method, Hall's process, that also will do. Hope you understood the method. Now what was the method? Question may come as, name an ore of aluminium which is added to the electrolytic mixture for the electrolytic reduction. What is the name of the ore? Cryolite. And how does it help? And how does it help? Tell me. How does the addition of Fusion temperature is melting point. Okay, fusion temperature is same as melting point. It lowers the melting point to how much degree? From 2000 degrees Celsius, it brings it down to 950 degrees Celsius, and it increases the conductivity of the mixture. Conductivity. Previously, the conductivity was very low. Now it becomes very high, and that results in the formation of large quantity of aluminium with small current. I think you understood this point. Okay. Now I will tell you about the material for cathode. Cathode will be, material for cathode is gas carbon, and material for the anode is graphite. Graphite anode are graphite anode. Okay. Now I will tell you another important thing. The oxygen formed at the anode will be reacting with the graphite. Graphite is carbon and will oxidize it. It will change this into carbon dioxide. That means you can say that the graphite anode will start burning with this oxygen. So your graphite anodes are placed actually, positively charged, they will get burnt. Once they get burnt, what will happen? The reaction will stop. It gets burnt very quickly. So that is the reason why we have to use a number of anodes, not only single one. We have to use a number of anodes and we replace them periodically. We renew them periodically. Because ultimately they all will get burnt. Once all of them are burnt, then we have to replace them by a new set of anodes. But we will be using a number of anodes, because if you use only one anode, it won't last longer. So question very often they ask, during the electrostatic reduction of pure alumina, a number of anodes are used and why are they renewed periodically? Question comes like this. And the reason, I think you know the reason now. Because number of anodes will make the electrostatic process last longer. Because of number of anodes, the process of electrolysis will carry on for longer time, and ultimately they will be burnt or they will be oxidized. Then we have to replace them by a new set of anodes. Hope this point also clear. Is it clear? Can you hear me? Okay, fine. Now another one. When this, because we are maintaining temperature of 950 degrees Celsius, that is we are supplying heat, so we can call this electrostatic container as a furnace. We can call it furnace, electric furnace. Okay. When the process of electrolysis goes on in the electrostatic furnace, we sprinkle coke powder. Coke powder we sprinkle over the furnace. How does it help? Why do we sprinkle coke powders? For two reasons we sprinkle coke powders. First reason is that coke powders will blanket the heat, will cover up the heat and will not allow the heat to escape. That is one reason. Because that will make the fire denser, the fire will subside rather than rising up. And yeah. What will we stop? No, you don't have to stop the fire. If you stop the fire, then how will you maintain this temperature? It will be covering up the heat and will not allow the heat to escape. So it will maintain this temperature easily. If the heat is escaping through the open surface, then your fuel will get wasted. The first thing it does is it blankets the heat. Second thing, it delays the burning of these anodes. Anodes are getting burning out here. With the oxygen gas, it is delaying the burning of the anodes. You can ask me, sir, how it is delaying the burnings, then I will tell you. Ask me. Okay, good boy. Okay, suppose we are assuming that we are not using any anodes. We are not using any coke powder. We are not spraying coke powder. Then let us just consider that situation. In that situation, oxygen form will be reacting with the anode, same percent of oxygen, then 100% oxygen will go and react with this. And now another situation when we are spraying coke powders. Now the most of the oxygen will be reacting with the coke powder. Coke powder is also a form of carbon. So maybe 90% of the oxygen will be burning the coke powder or will be oxidizing the coke powder. So how much percentage of oxygen left over? Only 10%. 90% is burning the coke powder. The 10% is only left over. That 10% will be burning this anode, actual anodes. Previously, when there was no coke powders, all 100% were burning the graphite anodes. But now only 10%. I am just giving an example. That means the burning is delayed or not. First case, all 100% were coming here and burning the anodes. Now only 10%. That means it will get burned, but a bit slowly. I mean, in the longer time it will last. It will delay the burning of the anodes. Hope you understood it, the points. Okay, now you don't ask me why and how. Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm just joking. So don't take it seriously. Yeah? Alright. Understood, no? Now, there is a diagram also regarding this. Okay, the diagram of extraction of aluminum metal. Electrolysis, the diagram is also very important. Please watch the diagram. I am drawing it out here and see the diagram. And certain questions will be asked on the diagram also. So they show the diagram like this. There will be a container like this. There is a container like this. And let me draw the diagram, then I think the diagram also I have given you a copy. Here we have, these are the plates, they are called anodes. Number of anodes we are using, remember it. We are not using only single anode because single anode won't last longer. Like this, number of anodes we are using. What are anodes? Now we have to supply current with the help of battery, like this. This side is positive, so positive will be connected here, like this. This way they will be connected, like this. And negative will be connected to this one. This one is gas carbon, and this one is made up of graphite anodes, graphite. And this entire thing is the same. So here is an outlet from which the aluminium metal will be coming out. Aluminium metal will be draining out, will be coming out in the form of liquid. Okay. Now this is the diagram for the extraction of aluminium metal. How to identify? We see number of plates, number of anodes are used. The number of anodes are used only in the extraction of aluminium metal, according to your syllabus. What are called anodes? The plates which are connected to the positive terminal. That is, positively charged plates are called anodes, and the negatively charged plates are called cathode. Negatively charged plate is this one. This entire thing is cathode. This entire thing is cathode, which is made up of the material gas carbon. Gas carbon is also a good conductor of electricity, and graphite also a good conductor of electricity. Okay. Identify the mixture. Let's see, there is a mixture out here. Can you identify the mixture? What mixture it is? Can you identify the mixture? It is a mixture containing cryolite, fluorspar and alumina. Name the method employed for the electrolysis of this mixture. Name the method. What is the name of the method? Hall-Heroult. Yes, Hall-Heroult process. Yes. Right. Now another question is saying, Name an ore of the metal used in the mixture. Can you name the ore of the metal which is used in this mixture? Cryolite. Cryolite we are adding there. So the answer is cryolite. Give the formula of that ore. What is the formula of that ore? You know the formula? F6, not E. F6. 5 after 5 comes 6. That's 6. Okay. Okay. Now another one. Why these anodes are replaced after some time periodically? Why are these anodes using the number and why they are replaced? Renewed periodically. Why? Yes. Why they get oxidized? Because at the anode, oxygen gas is liberated, and that oxygen gas will oxidize or will burn these anodes. Okay. Why coke powders are sprinkled over the furnace? Why coke powders are sprinkled? You know the reason? To blanket the heat and to delay the burning of anodes. And now they are asking where is the metal aluminium formed? You know that during the reaction aluminium metal is formed at the cathode. Cathode is at the base. Here with the aluminium metal will be formed. Aluminium metal will be formed like this, and that aluminium metal will be in the form of liquid, will be draining out. Aluminium metal will drain out in the form of the liquid out here like this. It will come out. Hope you understood the diagram and the questions on it. They may ask this type of question. If you have the knowledge, you can answer properly. Okay. If they ask what is the approximate temperature of the mixture, can you find what is the approximate temperature of the mixture? Tell me. What is the approximate temperature of the mixture? Can you hear me at least? What is the approximate temperature of the mixture? 950, yes. Why it is so? Because of Hall and Herold's process. Yes. Because of the addition of cryolite and fluorspar, the melting point decreases. I hope you understood all these facts. Is it clear? Okay, I think this part you understood. And now I love this. And the last part of this topic is just to learn this one, thermite mixture. Thermite mixture. What is thermite mixture and what is its use? I'll say. Thermite mixture is a mixture of aluminium powder and ferric oxide. In thermite mixture we have aluminium powder plus Fe2O3. This mixture is called thermite mixture. This is called thermite mixture. A mixture containing aluminium powder and ferric oxide Fe2O3 is called thermite mixture. And when this mixture is introduced to high temperature flame, it will make molten iron, and that molten iron is used for welding purpose. You know the welding purpose means joining two iron articles. Two iron articles we can join by molten iron by this method. That is when you have ionic reaction is Al plus Fe2O3, and here we are heating high temperature, that is high temperature. At high temperature we are heating it. Then aluminium will reduce oxygen from it, it will give you Al2O3 plus Fe. This Fe will be in the molten form, because of very high temperature. You have to put 2 here and you have to put 2 here, now it's balanced. So what is the use of thermite mixture? It is used in welding the iron articles. And why it is used in welding? Because this molten iron formed here will be filling up the gap between the two articles, and once you cool it, it solidifies and the two iron articles are joined. That is the idea. You must have seen that people doing the welding, that they use high temperature flame, like this, there will be sort of zil sound will be there, and they put a glass mask there on their face. Yeah, shield, face shield they use, yes. So just to protect their eyes, and the temperature is very high, and over there you see the liquid drop will be falling down in the form of molten iron. So they use this mixture, thermite mixture. And another one, what is the role of aluminium in the thermite mixture? What is the role? We say aluminium plays a role of more reducing agent than the iron. It is aluminium is more active metal than the iron. It plays that role. Or is stronger reducing agent than iron. You can say that. Because aluminium is able to remove oxygen from it and give it iron. Iron cannot remove aluminium because iron is less active or less reactive or less active. So aluminium can reduce oxygen from iron, but iron cannot reduce. So what is the role of the aluminium played in the thermite mixture? So we say it plays a role of stronger reducing agent, or it plays a role of more reactive metal than iron, or it proves that the aluminium is more reactive than iron. Is it clear? No, it helps in welding, that is the usage, no.